What's your never again story? Giving insecure men a chance. Edit. What I meant was really low self-esteem. However, note that high self-esteem could also be not good, as self-esteem doesn't necessarily correlates with a capability of person but simply how they perceive themselves. Very high self-esteem could lead to narcissistic point of view. So it's not necessarily black and white. What I look out for usually is self-efficacy, knowing what you're capable of and being competent. Self-efficacy also takes up a part in self-esteem, so yeah. Ignoring obvious warning signs because they're hot. Let myself being manipulated because I'm so understanding. Too many. A few highlights. Never again will I offer to help someone move homes in a short timespan with unnecessary pressure and monumental obligations to get them resituated. Never will I mix too many types of alcohol while day drinking in the sun. Never again will I overlook deal breakers. Because he is the perfect man in every other regard. There's a reason it was a deal breaker before. Ignore my gut instincts when it comes to relationships. Also, never take a man's words seriously unless he can back it up with actions. Letting doctors gaslight me or make me think my concerns aren't valid or rooted in anything substantial. I would never give a recovering addict a chance again. Edit. I used quotations because the man I'm referring to wasn't really recovering at all. He lied to me about where he was at in his recovery. When we moved in together way too soon, he was drinking after work and the weekends. It gradually got a lot worse when he went through something traumatic, and I ended up being in the receiving end of gaslighting and other types of emotional abuse. I would have my guards up in the future when it comes to addiction, but I do believe 100% that people can recover and are deserving of love. Stepping outside of my job duties at work. I made a calendar of useful dates one time. I became calendar girl for the whole department after. Nope. Giving ugly men a chance. Honestly, I wasted so much time on ugly dudes because I didn't think I was worth it. Never again. My husband is so hot. And actually hot. Other people think he's attractive. Some women will date men that are less attractive because they think these men will treat them better, sometimes because the attractive men have treated them poorly and they think there's a correlation there. Sometimes it's an insecurity thing and they think this person won't leave them, cheat on them. I'm sure there are other reasons, but those are ones I've heard from friends. I don't think the same exists for guys because they tend to focus on physical looks a bit more. Personally, I had two scenarios happening. I just kinda told myself that, oh, he's so sweet, he deserves a shot, but ended up not being attracted to him at all. So I forced myself to just do it because, again, he's so sweet and treats me so well. But I inevitably got the ick and physically recoiled just thinking about him touching me. It was unfair to everyone involved and I regret it a lot. And the other scenario was fine at first. I became so attracted to his personality that looks genuinely didn't matter. I hyped him up, complimented him. Basically anything to boost the confidence. Confidence is super hot after all. And then he kinda turned against me and dumped me to find someone hotter, or cheated, or plainly didn't believe I actually liked him and spent most of our time whining about his looks. These were several men, not just two. So I gave up. Date people you're genuinely attracted to and don't try to fix stuff that's not yours to fix. Walk a man through. How to be responsible and held accountable, how to communicate effectively, or at all. How to navigate his feelings if they are 30 and don't know by now. It's because they don't care. There are tons and tons of articles, videos, books, etc. about dealing with your emotions, how to address trauma and communicate, and how to be financially responsible. They really don't care. These type of men care more about their video games, their Marvel movies, and their TCGs. I asked my guy friend why it's so hard for men to admit they need to take time to work on themselves, regardless if they're partnered. He said, "This capitalistic hellhole isn't worth the effort. I'd rather live hedonistically today than work on myself, or build for a future tomorrow. Because I could do everything right and still fall ill and rack up life-ruining medical debt or die in a car accident. There's no point. It's better to just throw yourselves into your joys now before the inevitable takes you. And if I spend my life building something, I'll have to give up everything I have to grind and grind, just to live a semi-acceptable life. And for what? I may have More money, but I'll just get depressed because I'll be so consumed by responsibilities that I'll have no time to do anything fun. That shit really fucked me up because he has no idea that he has depression and it's brainwashing him. This is what I'm talking about when I say they don't care, because one day when they can't pay their rent and they have no lasting relationships or people to lean on, they will truly believe that it was 100% unavoidable. After my last ex, I vowed to never again date people I didn't see a future with and to up my standards. I will never again allow a friend to stay at my house for over a weekend. It took me almost a year to pry that fucker's ass off my couch. And then I had to get the couch destroyed because of MRSA. Okay, so, being born. Riding drop towers or roller coasters or really any amusement rides that goes more than like 3 to 4 meters above ground. I have never been as brain shutting down and genuinely believing I'll die a violent death terrified. Fuck those things. An innocent one. Slept in the ice hotel. Unique experience, but never need to do that again. Fix a man's life for him. I had to help him pick a major, figure out if he wanted to go to grad school or not, handle his mental health issues because he wouldn't get a therapist, and support his SoundCloud rapping, all while being told I'm not good enough for him, too alt, not religious, too radical, too loud, etc. Overnight oats, it's just cold porridge? I don't get it. I'll never get into a relationship unless I have my mess cleaned up. That's the tea. I tried dirty talking with a BF because I can't stop blabbering during sex and he said I might as well be talking sexy. Fuck, it was cringe. No thanks, I'll keep rambling about what happened at work today. Oh my god, the imagery. Do you have anxiety about sex? I could never bang someone who was rambling on about their day. Situationships. I had a male best friend. Long story short, he tried to ruin my life. Never again. Spill the tea on this one. I had this guy best friend since few years. We used to be really close, like talks about everything. Used to be great supporter. That's what I thought. I used to share everything with him, and he always had a negative attitude about it. Like example, if I'm going for an interview, he always said things like, they have lots of candidates, you might not get it. Don't put your heart into it, etc., etc. Back then I didn't take it seriously, even though my mother warned me about him. Then he started to be friends with my friends. I didn't think anything about that too. We used to fight, but we used to solve it. Now that I think of it, was very toxic. One day we had a bad fight, and I cut him off. Then I was engaged and I decided my friends has to be there for my wedding, so I solved everything and made him my friend again. Big mistake. Back then I was in college doing masters, so I was going through lots of pressure. I used to talk him about that. He totally changed after I said I was getting married. Like he started to be obsessed. Like why I'm spending time with my fiancé and I have no time for him, etc. One day, he started bashing me about my past, my serious relationship. How my fiancé will have issues due to that. He already knew I have high anxiety, and yes, it made me anxious. I'm from a country where we aren't allowed to be in relationship. Marriages get broken off due to that. So I decided to open up to my fiancé about my serious relationship. And my fiancé was very understanding, he didn't really mind anything. Which made my guy bestie go crazy. He was saying like all men are like that, men lie about it and torture about it later, etc., etc. Which made an even bigger fight between us. Until I decided to cut him off permanently. After my marriage, he texted all my friends about everything I said and didn't say and exaggerated to the max. My best friend of 8 years decided to believe him. She told lots of people about it and all of them started believing her and started cyberbullying me. I had to go to my graduation ceremony few months later and he decided to come. He joined all the other friends along with my best friend, decided to bully me the entire time. He also took so much initiative in cyberbullying me online as well. Even then, he didn't stop. This happened 5 years back. Now I'm just minding my own family life. And he still finds time to bully me online. I used to be really depressed those days. My husband gave me so much strength and support to come out of it. Now I don't even care. But I'm extremely cautious and careful about whom to trust. I don't really make any friends, especially men. Hormonal birth control. I've tried it all and it's all been terrible, except for the normal combined pill, which I can't have because of my types of migraines. Special mention for the Morena coil, which can get in the bin and stay there forever. Never dating for potential. I will never again date a man who says all his ex-GFs were to blame for his past breakups. If a person blames everyone in their past like that and has nothing good to say about anyone from the past, it's now something I am very cautious of, because now I realize that he is the common denominator in all of those failed past relationships, and it probably means he isn't fixing something within that is wrong with him. Ignoring red flags because of sexual energy, physical attraction. Not worth it. Bleaching my dark brown hair blonde. Fun as a one-time thing, but my hair was ruined for a year or two after. Befriending ex and welcoming any of them back to my life. Dating a man with a female best friend. Don't like to generalize, but personally, it's always ended in me heartbroken and them discovering their suppressed love for each other. Being optional. Someone doesn't love you when a bad day arises and they cut you off. I'm worth more. Withholding love and a relationship as punishment is cruel. I will never not pay for a cabin or a paid camping site at Mammoth Cave in KY. Hiking 3 miles to our campsite in pouring rain is a big no for me. Getting trapped in a relationship I don't really want because it's hard to hurt their feelings.